I am pleased that in my last interactions with Ambassador Bachir, we were in a bit of a celebratory mood because he was a person who was very upfront in coming to indicate his concerns about how Sahrawi was treated internationally or indeed within the continent. So you would recall that a few months ago, a few weeks ago in fact, we had two very important summits. One, the TICAD meeting in Japan, and secondly, the meeting in Russia, in Sochi. Now, one of the things that is happening at present is because we're all very concerned with a wide range of other issues, we tend to forget the good causes. We tend to neglect the good causes. We focus primarily on issues of securing funding for our particular projects, a focus on infrastructure, perhaps sometimes support for our human resource development plans, and we tend to forget those who suffer under the hard stick of oppression and denial of opportunity. And one of the things Ambassador Bachir was absolutely excellent at was to make sure we don't forget. And so whenever he sensed that we were verging toward neglecting attention to the status of those who are most oppressed still in the world, he would come to me and whisper. And so he came and said, are you aware, Minister? Sahrawi, a member of AU, is not being invited to meetings of African countries internationally. What are you going to do about that? And so in meetings where we had the opportunity to raise these matters, I was given the courage by him coming to me to be able to speak up and say, if Sahrawi is not invited, as South Africa, we believe Africa is not invited. And so it will be difficult to participate. And so the last two occasions we met, he just whispered to me, I know what you've done. We were in TICAD, in Yokohama, and on the last occasion, we were moving towards Sochi, and he said, I heard what you've done. I know what you said. So he was keeping tabs all the time on whether, as South Africa, we were being faithful to the commitment we've articulated many times to the cause of the people of Sahrawi. And it's something that we must, I believe, consistently pay attention to. So then, having said that about our interactions, let me take this opportunity to thank all of you for honoring our invitation to come here to celebrate the life of our colleague, our brother, our friend, and for us in the African National Congress, primarily the life of a comrade. Ambassador Radhi-Sghaiar Bachir of Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic to South Africa, who we have tragically lost after a very short illness. On behalf of our President, Cyril Ramaphosa, our government and my department, I wish to express our heartfelt condolences to the family of Ambassador Bachir, to his friends, to the people and government of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. In all the occasions where we interacted, the ambassador showed great passion and tireless determination in championing the Sahrawi cause for freedom and self-determination. And he was well known for his intellect and sharp analytical abilities, as well as his deep sentimental knowledge and dedication to the Sahrawi cause through presenting the issues of concern at different international fora. He consistently fought for the rights of his people, for the right to self-determination in all fora where he represented both the Frente Polisario and the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. Now, I'm told by those with experience, Excellency Dean, that the life of a diplomatic representative is a nice life. It's a cushy life, unlike politics. So, Ambassador could have chosen to enjoy a cushy life and not to continue pursuing the struggle for the cause of his people. But he chose the hard route. In all the engagements he had with our government, he conveyed messages emphasizing the Sahrawi people's inalienable right to self-determination and the restoration of Sahrawi's territorial integrity. I think it is sad that Ambassador Bachir lived a difficult life because of the pain of separation from his family, from his friends, but I believe most tragically, from his beloved homeland. As a result of his illness, he had cause to travel back to a place that he would have to call home, which is the camps in Tindouf. As we gather here today to pay our last respects to this great soldier, we are reminded of this injustice. In this, the 21st century, whilst many countries have gained their independence from the oppressive shackles of colonialism, we still have an entire nation living in camps in Tindouf, Algiers, unable to reap the full benefits of their territorial rights. This, I believe, is an indictment on all of us. We as Africa must stand firm in our commitment and solidarity with the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. And I felt particularly proud that South Africa and our department stands firm on this. But I do know that the solidarity is waning in many countries on the African continent, and we need to be alert to this as well. I believe we need to do much more to assert the need to act on standing UN resolutions, especially the resolution on a referendum on Western Sahara. And as Africa, as the African Union, we should be insisting that this happens. Our position is clear. It's a position supported by the International Court of Justice that the occupation of Western Sahara by Morocco is illegal. The United Nations agreed that the Sahrawi people must be allowed to exercise their right to self-determination. We continue to support Sahrawi and hereby reiterate the position of the African Union on the need for the determination of a date for the holding of a referendum on self-determination, as the Western Sahara remains the last territory on our continent under colonial rule, inscribed in the United Nations and decolonizing list of non-self-governing territories. This status quo, colleagues, cannot be allowed to continue, particularly by us as Africa. We need action in memory of our dear colleague as a fitting tribute to him. We call here on the United Nations Secretary General to expedite the appointment of a new special envoy for Western Sahara and the pursuit of concrete outcomes that will result in the freedom of that people. I wish then in closing once again to convey our deepest condolences to the family, friends, comrades, colleagues and compatriots of His Excellency Radhi-Bachir, to the government of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic and the people of Western Sahara. May all of you find solace and strength during this difficult time. And may you be comforted by the knowledge that we share your loss. And may He be received in the warm arms of Allah and be held in His embrace. May His soul rest in eternal peace. I close by repeating once more that as Africa, when we make decisions to support our brothers and sisters who continue to experience oppression, let's not be wary of our decisions. Let us be steadfast in supporting the undertakings that we have made. I have sensed a waning. I have seen a waning. I have experienced a waning. I have felt the loneliness of standing on the principle of solidarity. And I think as Africa, we need to stand up, because all of us have, by word, by deed, by action, by promise, said we reject colonialism. And so we cannot allow this form of occupation to continue. And we as Africa need to be steadfast in arguing and acting to ensure it does not continue. We must not allow the situation of the people of Sahrawi to be similar to what has occurred in the United States of America, where in the 1800s, W.E.B. Du Bois spoke of the 20th century as opening up the opportunity where the problem of race would finally be resolved. And today in the 21st century, that problem that Du Bois identified has still not been resolved. We need to be far more resolute, far more consistent in our solidarity to ensure that indeed Ambassador Bachir can rest in peace.